I'm Stefano Marzani. Nice meeting you all. I work for Amazon Web Services. I live in Mountain View, California, and I'm their tech leader for software-defined vehicles. Before that, I've been for 2 years the tech leader for autonomous driving, and there where we started to have a lot of interactions with the Autoware community. Tachibana-san is on my colleague in Japan, so I don't see him, and I don't hear him. So maybe he's not.
I'm here.
There. Okay, good. So you can introduce yourself. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, quickly. This is Yuki Tachibana from AWS. It took time to join the Autoware Foundation, even though we have been working with you with this organization for a long time. CEO Tanaka-san was always joking me, "Hey, Tachibana-san, you are eating free lunch, free drinks by attending Autoware events." But now, we are officially member, I guess. So we are very, really looking forward to accelerate the activity with you, this community. Thank you.
Exactly. So thanks, Yuki. Most probably, the press release of us joining will go out next week. And we recorded as well some nice podcast that will be presented in the next few days. But let me share my screen so you can have an idea. I hope you can see my screen of where we joined and what are we working on. You know that in automotive, there's a pretty big revolution. I'd say the biggest revolution since the introduction of the Model T, because the product is really changing from the ground up, really from the foundation. And you see here in this slide how vehicles are changing in terms of electronic architecture. That is the supporting platform from everything is software, hardware, and so on. The sector is going through consolidation. So going from an architecture where you have 100 plus ECUs in a vehicle with 3 plus electric networks, CAN, FlexRay, and whatever. And then to a domain where you have consolidated domain controllers, and you see ADAS AD, for example, IBI cluster, powertrain. And by the way, most of our customers are going to consolidate ADAS and IBI. We saw, for example, a very recent announcement from one major tier one in this direction. And then as zonal architecture, to be honest, there are already players out there that are trying to fully consolidate and consolidate as much as possible this kind of ECU. This is a necessary step toward to go in the direction of autonomous driving. Software-defined vehicles, and specifically for autonomous driving to implement what we call the big loop, right? Collect data, generate new software, and deploy software very, very quickly, and collect data not just to test vehicles, but to the entire fleet of produced vehicles. So those are the lines, let's say, that guided us. Of course, we can't just pretend to put the existing software in those small, cost-optimized, resource-constrained ECUs in consolidated ECUs. It's just bloatware ready to explode. So it doesn't make sense. So, and you say, okay, we take the software currently existing, we re-architect it a bit, it's still a monolithic app. Maybe we containerize it if possible, and we execute it on iOS. But the first step is really to start to break down this monolith, right, and create microservices, microservice containers inside the application. Maybe each of these services or application or binaries run on a different operating system, because maybe perception runs on Linux and you have powertrain control or by-wire actuation running on Unix or any other embedded operating system. The third step is really to introduce mixed critical concepts. And again, that means that really recognizing that the deployment and the description and deployment of these microservices is in automotive. So, and in automotive, we have a responsibility to do the thing right and in a safe way, right? So recognizing that some of these processes are critical, so they may need to go on a real-time operating system and reach ASIL-C, ASIL-D levels, while other of these processes are not critical at all. And so rear seat infotainment, so who cares? It fails, kids may cry, fine. That's the kind of thing. So this was the initial idea that we developed. This is one of the first diagrams we developed more than 2 years ago, together with ARM, and that brought them to the let's say to the start of this SOFI special interest group. And you know that Autoware OpenAD Kit is the first SOFI blueprint. So that's you see all the connections and the links between all these components. We worked a lot to make the cloud more and more compatible with let's say embedded systems. And again, given the fact and given this collaboration with ARM, we really made our AWS Graviton processors that are based on ARM able to host embedded operating system and stacks. And that's why we are proposing, you see the same stack that runs in a car runs inside the cloud on top of the same exact instruction set. That means it opens up new opportunities to run software in the cloud and test the full system, perform VMP activities at scale. So, and really this is super important. Think about it, a modern car, given the complexity of electronic architecture, is a system that is poorly tested in terms of system. No modern car reach 20-25% of system coverage. It is a ridiculous amount, but that's given the complexity and the fact that hardware in the loop system does not scale. So this is really important to achieve, because in cloud and with the proper level of abstraction, you can better scale, right? And this is exactly what you need to achieve, especially for autonomous driving. This is the resulting architecture that, again, we published as a SOFI, so trying to democratize the approach. Democratize means proposing it to other cloud vendors, to other players. So it's really trying to adopt this as a practice for the sector. So, and yeah. So going back a little bit to where we joined and what we plan to do. Last year at the CES, we presented this concept demo. It was kind of important because it merged the SOFI elements, so develop a functionality in cloud, an embedded functionality in cloud, and using orchestration features deploy later on when the feature has been tested in cloud, deploy it on the embedded side, on the real ECU in the car, right? So, and we call it again initial embedded orchestration of these containers. That was a state of the art 2023. And what about 2024? And what about our plans for Autoware? So let me start with maybe the latest slide. We will host in our AWS booth at CES an important OpenAD Kit demo made in collaboration with a lot of partners, really to showcase the work done by SOFI, by Autoware, by the Async Alliance, in order to really achieve this cloud native way, microservice-based organization of an autonomous driving stack. So again, this is not a surprise. So it's if I review the activities we did in the past couple of years, we already had held a few hackathons in our East office here in the Bay Area in 2022, 2023. We had, again, and we are planning to have this demo, and we had even a demo in a recent ARM Tech Talk. 2024 ideas, some really, and feel free to send us a feedback, is again to restart this cycle of hackathons for sure in our Santa Clara Automotive Lab here in Silicon Valley, and then port OpenAD Kit on Graviton, and to enable hardware-less development experience for the Autoware community, improve the OpenAD Kit CI/CD pipelines, introduce mixed critical orchestration element in collaboration with ARM and XL4, and then organize meetups. Those are what we are thinking. But again, we will have a meeting in January with CJ, where he's going to introduce us to the various activities and work streams. So, of course, feel free to reach out, propose other ideas, engage with us. Again, we are here to engage with the community and have the community hopefully to grow. So thank you so much.